Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all enjoying my Chinese New Year themed videos. Now, if you remember this stamp set, this was part of that huge Amazon haul, and I had reservations because I just felt it was way more Japanese than Chinese. I didn't want to offend anyone's culture and just go ahead and use the things anyway, but after doing some research on Chinese New Year, there are two things that will work here, and that is the fan and it's also the lanterns. There are lots of Chinese lanterns that I found online that look just like these, so I'm really happy to just go ahead and use those two items. I think everything else is quite representative of the Japanese culture, so that is what we are going with. Now, the exciting thing about this video is that I am trying something brand new for the first time, and I'm using my stamps with my new stamp blocks that I also got in that Amazon haul. And this video is really and truly inspired by the Clay Impress. She is over on Instagram and I follow her, and oh my gosh, she did something I have never seen before. And of course, that's because I don't know enough about polymer clay. I'm not a polymer clay professional at all. What I do with polymer clay is I just do what I can with what I've got, and that's how I roll. The first thing I'm gonna do is actually make my Sculpey red clay a little bit more pliable. Now, this pasta roller was actually given to me by Wendy over at Toonpish Crafts. She doesn't live far from me, but she did put this in the post for me because she never uses it for pasta and she doesn't do polymer clay. So I was just really grateful for this because it saved my hands. Last year when I first tried polymer clay for the first time on my channel, my hands afterwards ached. Like, they ached. I don't know how people do it all the time. I guess your muscles get used to it and you get that kind of muscle memory and everything's okay. But yes, I was talking to Wendy over at Toonpish and she said, oh, I've got this if you want it. And yeah, super grateful. So massive thank you. Again, like I've said before, and I'll say it again, I don't know what I'm doing. So if I'm doing this wrong, let me know. I just basically rolled it through and then I kept rolling it through about 10 times until it was really soft and malleable and easy for me to roll out. Just saved the hands. I cannot explain it. So this is what I saw on the Clay Impress's Instagram. She basically rolled out her polymer clay and then she laid down some foil. Now, this is just gold leaf, gold foil, whatever you want to call it. This is the same stuff I've been using in all of my Chinese New Year videos. Once she had laid it down over her polymer clay, she took a stamp and then she impressed. I guess that's why she's called the Clay Impress, right? She made an impression in the surface of her polymer clay with her stamp. And honestly, when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. I need to try this, and knowing full well I'm nowhere near her level, but I thought it would be fun anyway, and it would be fun for me to share with you guys what I did. And if you guys are more kind of a bit more, you know, up there with the polymer clay, you'll be able to do a much better job than me. Now, I am using, like I said, the Chinese lantern stamps and the fan stamps, and I'm just getting out of the kind of surface area what I can. So I went ahead and I actually pressed all 4 of those. Now, when the magic happens, let me tell you, I was in love at this point because I was like, it worked. It worked exactly like I saw on her Instagram. But what she then did, she took sellotape and she removed the excess foil. When she did this, I was like, oh my gosh. Actually, I think she also removed some foil from within the impression. I didn't really want to do that because the impression she used had a lot higher level textures, if that makes sense. So she could afford to remove some of the foil from the top of the imprint. I can't because my details are not that strong. But look at this. I don't know why I got so excited because I thought, even though I'm not, you know, a polymer clay professional, it's all about having fun and doing what you want to do and having there be like no rules. So yeah, I still felt quite happy that it was working for me and that everything I'd seen on her Instagram was working. So the next step for me really was to cut these out. Here's the thing. I don't know how else to do it because, I don't know, let me know in the comment section down below what I should have done. If I've done this right, I don't know. But I decided to go ahead and use my craft blade to cut them out. And I basically cut straight through. Don't ask me how. I cut straight through the bottom of one of the Chinese lanterns. And I don't know why. I should have just kept it in the video. So it was then I decided to just do one at a time, Claire. Like, calm down and just do one at a time. So I rolled my clay up into a ball, and I was quite surprised that you can't see much of the gold. I literally rolled it all up with the gold inside, and I thought that would give me specks of gold in my polymer clay, but it didn't, and that's okay. So I rolled it out thinly, a lot thinner this time. I felt like maybe I'd rolled them too fat. So I rolled it out thinly again. I did my impressions of the fans with my stamp on the acrylic block, and I'm so much happier. They look so much better. And I think that's because the clay is thinner. I actually rolled it through the machine on the thinnest possible setting. So I've got a really nice thin clay now. And that is going to make cutting them out so much easier, so much neater. And yeah, it will make me happier. Again, I don't really know if this is the right way to do it, but that's also okay because we're all here just for fun and to craft, and that's the whole point of it. But I am loving these. They are totally Chinese New Year or orange segments. If this was a summer video and I did this on orange polymer clay, yes. Yes, we could get away with calling these orange segments, Satsuma segments. However, I do think they definitely look like Chinese fans or Japanese fans even. So yeah, I was really happy at this point, and I was really happy with the cutout and the, how neat they were compared to the first attempt. This is the Chinese lanterns. Now, I knew from my first attempt these are going to be a bit more fiddly to actually cut out and have them look neat, have them look like Chinese lanterns. So I just did my best. This is all we can do, is do our best. And I'm definitely not here telling you this is how you do it. This is how we do it. I'm not here saying that. I am here saying, how much fun is this? Look what I made. You can make it too. But this is not necessarily the absolute. I'm definitely saying to you, this is not the absolute right way to make these. However, it worked and it's fun, and that's all that matters. But yes, so I did the same with the Chinese lanterns. Now you can see here, the one on the right did accidentally get touched with the tape. So I did remove some gold foil from within the lantern. So I did go back in, I added in some gold foil, I rubbed it back in with my finger, and I just pressed the stamp down again just to kind of get it back in there and get it proper stuck to the polymer clay. And I felt like if I needed to neaten it up afterwards, I could. But I didn't need to. I just decided to press them both a little bit deeper. Now, the struggle for me, I wouldn't say it was a struggle. It's a first world struggle. Was just cutting them out so that they still retain the look of a Chinese lantern. For me, I felt like they kind of lost their identity somewhere along the line. And obviously, I've got a straight blade, so to cut out the round area of the lantern I had to cut it in sections, and it was okay, it worked, but yeah, this is what they turned out like. I still love them. At this point, it was time for them to go in the oven. Follow the advice on your polymer clay as to how long they bake for, and of course that foil is fine in the oven. So this was about 2 hours later. I came back upstairs and it is time to give them a top coat of UV resin. Now I am using, sorry that shot was really poor there, but I am using the Vista Lumen. So this is Vista's own UV resin, and I'm just giving them a bit of a coat just to bring them back to life, give them a bit of a sparkle, bit of a shine, and I'm just using my cocktail stick here to spread the UV resin out. And honestly, this was a bit tricky because my my blade skills are not the best. They're not the finest. So yeah, it was a bit of an awkward shape to coat. The sides were higher than the inside, naturally, because it's a stamp impression. But I did really want all of those red edges to be shiny as well. So I do feel like these could use 2 coats of UV resin, if I'm honest, like one thin coat and then a much bigger coat on top to give them a really nice rich dome effect. But yeah, super fiddly, and I always feel like things like this are just so much more fiddly while I'm filming. Like, even watching this, I'm like, Claire, what are you doing? What are you doing? Move them all out of the way, Claire. Do one at a time. But yeah, you know what? We're here. It was fun. All I did was make sure that I spread the UV resin out to every edge and I didn't have any huge gaping holes. And then they went under the UV lamp. Now, honestly, I usually put my items under the UV lamp for about 10 minutes just to make sure that they are fully done. But of course, my UV lamp only goes to 1.5 minutes. So that just means you have to supervise and keep pressing the button and keep pressing the button and all of that jazz. But they turned out great and I'm still really, really happy. I will say at this point, the fans are my favourite because I feel like the lanterns could do with maybe tassels at the bottom instead of that. So I feel like if you cut off the bottom part of that stamp, then you could drill and attach some beautiful gold threads, gold, you know, the tassels that you can buy. I feel like that would have been pretty cool. But as we are, this is what we're dealing with, this is what we're working with. That's definitely something to bear in mind. Maybe for next year I could try. So I am just drilling these with my absolute go-to jewellery drill. That is also linked below in my Amazon storefront in the jewellery section. It is perfect. Now here's the thing, I've only got silver. I've only got silver attachments, right? Who doesn't love a bit of Claire's Crafty Corner? What are you doing, girl? Why didn't you tell me, guys, that I only have silver? I only have silver attachments and all of the things. I don't know why I don't have gold. So in an ideal world, let's all close our eyes. Pretend that I'm using gold jump rings and gold attachments and earring attachments because of course they need to be gold. Now obviously if I had the chance, if I had the time, I always say hindsight is a wonderful thing, I would have put in an order for some gold jump rings and some gold earring attachments, but I didn't. It's okay. It's okay, we can just pretend. Here they are all with their earring attachments. Are they perfect? No, they're really not. They're really not. I do like the fans. The Chinese lanterns, I'm trying to look at them with a full heart. I'm just looking at them like, you look very sloppy. Very sloppy. I should have really sanded the edges of that polymer clay so you can see the cuts. It's just messy, but you know what, it was fun, and that's what it is all about. It was fun. So take away from this video what you wish. Obviously you're going to do things neater. If you are giving them to a friend, gifting them, selling them at a market, or you know, wearing them yourself, do it neater, spend a bit more time sanding those edges down to make those lanterns pop. Now I truly do think they would look better with fabric tassels hanging off of those lanterns because right now they're just not filling me with joy. The actual fans though, I'm loving them. I'm loving the fans. I think they look like fans and they're okay. The lanterns, not so much. But you know what? I'm here to share with you the triumphs and the Don't say failures. Don't say failures. We are saying lessons. We are sharing the triumphs, the successes, and also the lessons. Videos that I put out, sometimes we can all take away what we want from them. You might be sitting there thinking, yeah, I'm never doing that. You might also be thinking, oh, if I was going to do that, I would do it this way. So, you know, I hope you've enjoyed regardless of my feelings towards the lanterns, but I hope you found some form of inspiration even in the method of stamping your polymer clay. That's the biggest thing here. The method of stamping the polymer clay, the potential, the possibilities for that are absolutely endless outside of Chinese New Year DIYs. So I cannot wait to try that again further down the line. Who knows? Easter, you know, Valentine's Day, Christmas. Yeah, the possibilities for that, again, is just going to open up doors for me now that I've seen that method, and I'm looking forward to that one. So I hope you have enjoyed this, and thank you so much for all of your support over this whole Chinese New Year series. I will see you in the next video. Bye.